Hello everyone, today I'll build a second DIY miniature kit from Rolife, a fully stocked kitchen complete with a fridge, stove, microwave, and more. Let's see how some of their miniatures compare to MiniVerse or MiniVerse items. They have a whole bunch of different kits on their website, so go check them out. I left their link in the description. Just don't forget to use the code GBKuhleen15 at checkout to get 15% off your order. Now let's start building this. So just like with the other kit, you get all these pouches over here with all the different items. You also get some little boxes to build and a mat. Then there's of course the whole structure and also some stickers and wallpaper and stuff like that. I went into more details about this and what you get in a kit in the previous video, so if you didn't, go check that out first. So they're telling us here that the first thing we should build is the stove, but I kind of want to build that fridge. I think it looks really cool. And also I did build a stove in the previous video, so I'm really excited to see how the fridge will look. For those of you interested, here's the size of the fridge. So the first step is to add this little piece to the back of the fridge. Fits in very nice and tight. Then we have this little part where the cool air comes in, and we're gonna put that right over there in the back of the fridge. Then we're gonna add the two shelves that came with this set, and also here at the bottom we have that little, I don't even know what's the name for it. I'm guessing it's like a fridge drawer. Now it's time to put the doors in, and they said we should lean it technically here on the side and kind of like put it down, but I can't do that because then you guys are not gonna have a nice view. Or maybe I can. Yeah, that still looks good. All right, so you put the little door over here, or the freezer door, and then the fridge door goes over there. And then to make sure those stay on, we add this little piece over here. I like the way everything fits together. It's like a very tight fit. You know, there's no big gaps on the sides or anything like that. And the bigger one goes over here. And now our little fridge officially has doors that open and close. And they do snap in and close all the way, so that's good. Now let's add these little storage pockets to the doors. We get 3 in total. And then of course the little handles, and I almost lost the small one. I didn't even see it in that package when I opened it. Apparently the fridge also came with a couple of stickers we should add. And here's the finished product, a little yellow, or should I say golden, Rolife fridge. I think it looks absolutely amazing. And now we're gonna go back to the beginning of the instructions manual and actually build a little stove. I couldn't help but notice this stake we have in here, but we're gonna get to that in just a little bit. It looks like this stove will also light up, just like the one from the Golden Wheat Bakery. We have this little light over here that will go on top of this piece, just like so. And then this will go in here. And apparently we need to make sure that the wire goes between those two little things. So far so good. And now this whole thing will go in here. Let me just make sure that, you know, the wire goes through this little notch over here. Now we're gonna add these little things at the top, which I don't know what they're called, to be honest with you. Is it like a stove eye? For some reason, this top piece is a little bit scratched, although it might just be from sitting with all the other pieces. Maybe they just kind of like rubbed against each other. But I do love how they made these grooves over here. So once you add this, it fits in there perfectly, nice and flush. They really do pay attention to details here. It's time to open this little package. And that's because we have these little knobs in there that will go right over here. Yeah, this is not delicate work. I'm gonna have to use my fingers. Oh my god, they actually turn. That is so cool. All 4 of them are in. They look nice. And now it's time to put the door to this oven. But first they say we should add the handle, just like so. And now the door will snap into that little thing over there. And then once again, we have that transparent film that we used in the last video. And then we secured that in place with this other little piece. That looks perfect. Seems like this range also has some storage space. So I'm putting the handle on the door. And then we're gonna snap it in place over here, which can be tricky at times, but let's see if I remember from last time. So I'm gonna start by putting it in up top, and then just slide into the bottom part, which is easier said than done. Yep, all good. And then we have 3 of these trays. One apparently goes in here. Okay, definitely need tweezers for that. Then the other 2 trays will go in the storage space. We got one in. And the second one. It would be a little bit easier if you get those in before you put the door on, because the door kind of like blocks a little bit of that, you know, entrance. Now let's put the handle on that little drawer that will go at the bottom of the stove. These are a little bit difficult to get in sometimes. I mean, at least once they're in, they fit in there nicely, you know? And also, I mentioned this in the previous video, but the tweezers that they provide is actually plastic, which means that, you know, you're not gonna scratch anything. So you can use this back side of it to help you push stuff in so that, you know, you don't hurt your fingers or anything. See? Which probably I should use it more often, but I don't know. Once I start, you know, getting handsy with stuff, then I just, yeah. So like I said, it slides right in this bottom part of the range. And then one last thing left to do is to add the Rolife sticker and then also the display that controls the oven temperature and, you know, turning it on and off. One thing that I noticed and I don't really understand is why does this range have 4 knobs and only 2 of those stovetop gas burners thingies? Yeah, I guess at this point I'm just nitpicking. Okay, one last thing to do is to build these little pots and pans that go on top of the stove. So first we got this, it looks like a Dutch oven type of pot. It looks really nice though, I like it a lot. So then that would go over here at the top. And they do say that we should use some of these dots to actually stick these in place, but I'm not gonna do that because I wanna be able to remove them, you know, add other stuff. But if you're good with the way it looks and you don't wanna move things around, then yeah, definitely use one of these. Here's a closer look at that cast iron pan, and then here's the little piece of steak, and of course a pair of tongs. So naturally the steak will go in there, and then you put the pair of tongs over here on the top. And I can already think about a few ways that I can improve this and maybe make it into a frozen moment. And if you guys would like to see me do that, please let me know in the comments. I might do it as a short probably. Then this will go over here, or maybe we can just switch them around and do it like this. And this is the final result. I think it looks exceptional, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it. I do have an idea though, something I'm really curious to try. So this is the MasterChef frying pan from the Mini Brands Home series, and I will have to destructively remove this part, or maybe not. Let's see if we can get a nice clean cut over here on the back. And honestly, the only reason I'm doing this is because I only have one and I might want to use it for the thumbnail. It has a little bit of oh, I didn't even know that the bottom is actually detailed too. You have the MasterChef logo, and then it's a different color, and it's also textured. Mini Brands, why did you go through the trouble of making it like this if you package this so that people cannot, you know, technically open it without destroying it? Sorry, I'm gonna use my t-shirt to actually clean the inside a little bit. So I do think that it will look a little bit more professional if we're using the Mini Brands pan instead. What do you guys think, right? And it actually fits over here perfectly. Am I right? Are you guys with me on this one? Oh, and of course, let's not forget the tongs. And now I have one more thing I really want to try. Also from the Mini Brands Home series, we have this little tray of muffins, and I'm so curious to see if it actually fits inside this oven, because if it does, that's gonna be perfect. Okay, wait, I have an idea. Let's take these off, because I have a feeling it might fit in there. It's just that we need to put it sideways. No, it doesn't. Darn, that was so close to being perfect. Let me try to put it this way, but I have a feeling that the door will not close then. Yeah, it doesn't close all the way. Maybe this storage space is a little bit deeper, but no, it's not. Let's close it up, and I want to see if it fits in there. Nope, does not. But it is extremely close to the scale of this, which technically means that you can put it here on top. Kind of like you just pull them out of the oven and you just let them rest there for a little bit. There's an idea. If you want to, you know, change them up and have this removed and put this on top, you can do that. All right, the next thing we're going to build is this upper cabinet that goes kind of like above the stove. Okay, first things first, we're going to have to put the handles on these sliding doors. And now this cabinet comes in 2 pieces, so they just kind of like slide in like so. So this cabinet has 2 sets of grooves, and the first door will need to go in the one that's, you know, further in the back. I think this is going to be tricky because it's going to stop in the first groove for sure, because it's such a tight fit. Yep, as suspected. So let me see how am I going to get it in the second one now. Okay, that was easier than I thought. And now this other door will just fit nicely here in the first groove, or channel. Is it a channel or groove? I think both work, right? And just like that, you got yourself a nice sliding door cabinet. Now we're going to build a couple of these boxes that will go in the upper cabinet. I don't think all of them will go in the upper cabinet, but since we're at this step, we're going to just build them all. Also, these are pretty easy to build. You just need to make sure that you bend all the things that have to be bended. Like you can clearly see the creases where things have to be bent in shape. Alright, the boxes are all done. We have 2 peanut butter boxes, which is a little bit weird because peanut butter doesn't go in a box, right? Then there's the yummy multigrain oatmeal box. We got a kitchen towel box with 12 rolls, and I wish they would have actually called it paper towel. Also, they probably should have chosen something else for this box because it's a little bit too small to fit 12 rolls of paper towels in it. This one is also interesting. It says, cheese is power, ready to eat. Cheese, I'm guessing, and it also comes in a box. And then we have the delicious kitchen essentials, and here on the back it says mixed seasoning. So I guess this is a box of different kinds of seasonings. Okay, now we're going back to our little cabinet, and to the bottom part we're gonna add this piece here, and we're gonna hang stuff on it. There should be 5 little hooks here, and I'm gonna take them all out. And we're gonna add these to this little bar that we just put on the cabinet. Oh, just realized it's just 4. The other one was resting on the peanut butter. Now we're gonna put some of those boxes we built in here. And I don't think there's any Mini Brands boxes that are this small that could fit in here. So we're gonna have to use these. And then on this other side, they said we should put the seasoning here at the bottom. Oh, wrong way. And then here at the top, you got these tiny little teacups. And they are so detailed, it's absolutely incredible. And also really, really tiny. I haven't seen teacups that are this tiny and this detailed. So normally these I would definitely stick in place because they will go everywhere. But I want to use them for something, so for now, we're just gonna put them in there as they are. Okay, now it's time to put everything to the side and start building the base and the walls and, you know, the whole structure. So this is our floor, and as I mentioned in the other video, it's not just cardboard, it's actually plastic, but the insert thingies that will go on this wall are actually cardboard. This is how the whole thing will be, and then the floor, we can orient it this way. I almost forgot something. We need to add these little things here on the sides. This is where if you get more sets, you can actually connect them to each other. But right now we're just gonna cover this part. And then once I finish the last set, we're just gonna connect all of them together. All right, it's time for the walls to go up. Now it's time for the wallpaper to go in. Let me just poke these out so that we don't have to deal with them later. Then we're gonna remove this top part. And this one goes over here, and then this other one goes on the right side. So then here on the wall, we have to build this little hanger, and we should have all the pieces in here. Let me get them out. Look at that, so cute. So it should just go here in the wall nicely. So then this little thing that I used as a background to show the little teacups is actually a painting. You just need to get this sticker and put it there nicely. I don't know about you guys, but whenever it comes to putting stickers on, it really makes me nervous. Because it's kind of like a thing where it's permanent once you set it in. And if you don't get it right, then yeah, you have a crooked piece and we do not want that. So let's see if I can get this one perfectly centered. Nope, 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 nope. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna use my hands for this. That worked a lot better. I mean, I guess I could have moved it a little bit that way, but it's too late now. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. So our lovely painting will go right over here. Also at this point, the stove can go in, and we have to make sure we fit that cable through that hole in the wall. Next up is the upper cabinet. I almost forgot that here on the hanger we were supposed to put this, which is a little plastic apron, which looks good from this angle, but if you turn it like this, I think they could have easily chosen like a actual cloth apron. I don't think it's that much more expensive to make it, but oh well. It doesn't sit very naturally in my opinion, but I mean, I guess maybe it depends on what angle you look at it from, right? So now on those hooks under the cabinet, they give us a few things to hang there. We have a mitten, a metal spatula, and I think this is a wooden or plastic spatula or spoon. I didn't really like the way the metal spatula was sitting there, so I'm trying to put it here at the end. I think the hole on this metal spatula is a little bit smaller because I'm having a harder time getting it in there. There we go. Nope, never mind. That didn't work. Okay, finally. So now we can move them around a little bit. Oh, come on. How was it so hard to get it in there and so easy for it to come out? You know what? I'm just gonna take this whole hook out and then I'm gonna put it back in. That is so much easier. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. I'm just gonna move them around a little bit. And now I need to clean up this mess I made over here. I'll actually put this pair of tongs up here too. It's even possible because I don't really like the way it sits there on the meat. I wonder if it is possible, so I'm gonna remove one of these. It's a lot easier to work with it like so. Oh man, it does not fit. I mean, kind of. I think it's gonna look weird. That doesn't look too bad, but it's not very secure over there, so it might fall. But I think it looks better like that, right? Now let's put our Dutch oven pot up here. Now we're supposed to be working on the electrical part. And this is the panel for the outside. This wire should go through the middle part. I'm trying to get this in without, you know, bending it. Alright, I forgot to remove this part. There we go. Wait a second. I don't know if I like this. I mean, I guess it depends on your preference. This one apparently comes with the USB-C cable, and then this you connect to like a power bank in order to turn on the lights in this kit, which I can't say I necessarily like because then the power bank will be out in the open. Whereas with the other one, with the Golden Wheat Bakery, they had the batteries inside this unit. So then you can take it anywhere, you can put it anywhere, you can put stuff around it, but it's okay. I'm sure there has to be like a small enough battery bank where you can kind of like put it over here or something. That'd be an interesting idea, like paint it like a little garbage can or something, or turn it into a garbage can. So then, you know, it looks like it's part of the whole scene. But anyway, this one goes here in the middle. So then I'm going to push the extra part of the wire up the wall so that, you know, it doesn't hang outside. And then this should just snap in. It kind of snapped in, but there was no snap. Now we're going to turn it back around and then build our little sink with the countertop and the little storage underneath the sink. First thing we need to do is add this little panel over here. And let's add the handles to these two little doors. Wait a minute. Alright, so there's two sizes of handles. I was like, that doesn't fit. It's a little bit longer than it should. Well, I'm having a little bit more trouble with door number 2. This one is a tighter fit, so I'm gonna use this instead. Now it's time to put them in. And this is always a little bit tricky until you get the hang of it, but there we go. That was easy. Alright, now it's time for this panel here. Countertop. It's a very tight and precise fit, so that is ultimately a very good thing. Time for the sink to go in. Seems like they forgot to remove this extra piece from the faucet. I was like, how am I supposed to get this one in? And then we also have a little soap dispenser, which should have been a little bit higher, I guess, but oh well. This kitchen also comes with a little microwave. Wrong piece. So let's build it up real quick. This back panel goes in here, and then this goes in here. I like how they detailed even the bottom part of the microwave. That is always very nice to see, you know, that a miniature is, you know, detailed all around. Remember that big handle that we thought is for the cabinets? Well, it was for the microwave. Here's the little glass window for the microwave. All right, I think that's good. Now the whole door will go in here. Okay, that didn't work. Take 2. All right, here's our little microwave. All done. This will go over here, and then this whole thing will slide in the corner right next to the stove. Now it's time to add all the other cool things to the counter. We got this little pot that will go right above the microwave. And once again, for all the things that I'm going to place here on the counter, they suggest that we use those little dots to, you know, stick them in place so that they don't move around. But like I said before, I'm not going to do that in case I want to customize this and make it a little bit different, maybe add some Mini Brands items or other things like that. All right, so we got some lettuce that will go in this bowl. And then its original placement is right in front of the microwave. Then we got a little cutting board on top of which we will place 2 sausages. And this little knife that is very detailed and realistic. And we're going to place the whole thing right here on the counter next to the stove. We also have this little bottle of ketchup that looks absolutely amazing, and it also comes with a sticker. This one will also go on the counter right next to the microwave. We also have a cute little dish detergent, and look how detailed it is. And of course it comes with a sticker. Okay, well, that's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. And we'll go right over here next to the sink. And then we also got a sponge that we'll place right in front of the dish soap. Next up, we're gonna build this table that also goes in the kitchen. I just noticed that the table actually matches the counter, and it's quite easy to build. It just comes with like 4 of these legs that we're just gonna put in, and you can only put them in one way. So that's great because the legs actually kind of like go a little bit outwards. And here it is, all nice and finished. This is how it looks when we put it in the kitchen. I think it's absolutely perfect. I like how everything kind of like comes together. And then next we're gonna build this chair that goes right next to the table. Am I missing some parts here? There should be 2 of these. Here it is. It was under the pasta. Now we're gonna add this little backrest, and I hope that's what it's called, but it would make sense to be called that, which is why I called it a backrest. It's coming along nicely. Now we just need to add this nice little green bottom part, cushion. And we got ourselves a beautiful little green chair that can literally go anywhere. You can move the table around and put it on this other side, whatever feels best for you. Now this next one we're going to build, I'm really excited about because I have something similar, and that's where I store all my tweezers and post-it notes and all kinds of different things that I use usually when I make things like these or MiniVerse and all that. It's one of those little utility carts, I think you call it. We're going to start by adding these wheels to the base. I like that they made it in such a way that they're not static, so they actually turn. Right now we're going to put in the side part. Takes a little bit of elbow grease to get them in there nicely, but my fingers though look like they've been through some stuff. Don't worry, it doesn't hurt, but it does leave these little marks for a little bit. Alright, and to this we're going to add that little handle thing, like a handlebar. And it takes just as much power to get this part in. Maybe it would help a little bit if I'm using their tweezers to push it in. Kind of, but not really. Maybe if I wiggle it. Okay, I think it's good like that. Now we're gonna add the little baskets for each of these 3 levels. You just kind of like have to align it on one side, and then you can slightly pull this other edge. And that's it. Now the 3rd one. And it's complete. Look at that, so tiny, so cute, very detailed, and it actually kind of rolls. Alright, let's get these out of the way. I think this one should sit somewhere over here. Seems like they gave us an extra wheel in case we lose one. Next up, we're going to build this Rolife shopping bag, and then we're also going to remove the mat. You know those mats that go on the floor in front of the kitchen sink? Yeah, we have one of those too. And again, for the mat as well as a lot of the other stuff, they do give you these strips to secure it in place. So just wanted to mention that just in case you guys are confused of like how are things supposed to stay in place here. You got the strips and there's also the little dots. But as I said before, I do not want to secure anything in place just in case I decide on messing around a little bit with this and creating something interesting like a frozen in time moment, or if I want to exchange it for something else and put some mini brands in there. Yeah, I think you get the gist of it. Which, by the way, if you have any ideas, please do drop them in the comments. What I was thinking is to kind of like create this whole thing, like bring the whole thing to life and create a frozen moment almost out of every situation. What do you guys think? Okay, now it's time to put a few things on a table, and I'm gonna use this marker box to bring it higher so that you guys can, get a better look. All right, so this here is supposed to be a napkin. So we're gonna leave it right over here. Then we have this pasta dish. It fits in there perfectly. It looks quite good and delicious. Then a little plate over here with one piece of bread. Again, if you want these to stay in place, just use the dots. And then we top that off with a fried egg and another piece of bread, just kind of like resting on top of, never mind. I think we can leave it here to the side for now. Or should I just, nope. You know what, I'll just put it right over here. Fork will go right over here on the napkin. And by the way, this is such a cool one. It's so intricate and detailed. It's amazing. I mean, Mini Brands and MiniVerse, whenever they had the forks in the, Mini Brands Create or just, the regular MiniVerse, they didn't look this detailed. Then we have a little mug that goes over here. A little glass that I'm guessing is for water. And probably this is for coffee. And then we also have this serrated blade knife. I guess this is for cutting the sandwich once it's topped off with the other slice of bread. And technically that's it, but I do have this extra box of peanut butter. Let's just put it there to complete the table. So many opportunities here to create frozen moments. I just can't get it out of my head. I think a frozen moment in this instance would be perfect. All right, so that's it for this table. We can put it back in the kitchen. And then remember these two boxes, they technically go on this little cart here. And of course, the piece de resistance, we have the fridge, and we're gonna place that right over here. I need to move the handle of that steak, not of the steak, the pan. And you know what, maybe let's close the fridge. Well, this is how it looks so far. There's nothing else we need to do for the inside part. Of course, the video is not done because there's still a couple of things I want to add. And then we also need to see how it looks with all the lights turned on. So for that part, we're going to push it to the side for a second. So normally, if you don't get the two accessories that I'm going to show you in a little bit, this is the part that you would put on top of this whole thing. And it will kind of like bring it all together, What I got is one of these accessories, which is a roof. And if you get this, it also means that you can put on this little lamp. Pretty easy to put together. I'm not going to dive into too much detail, and I explained more in the previous video, so feel free to check that out if you want to see a more detailed explanation on how to add this roof. I just realized that before I put this on, I need to add the other panel on the outside. So I'm not going to push it all the way down because I still need to remove this panel and, run the wire to this little battery bank. Well, never mind, not a battery bank. It's just a thingy where then you put the battery bank in there. To be honest with you, this is the part that I dislike the most, but final result is really, really good. So I think it's worth it in the end. I need to move the fridge out of the way. I can squeeze this in. And now we can slowly lower the roof, but we need to make sure that all the panels are going underneath it. All right, everything looks good so far. We can add our fridge back. We're gonna turn this around and connect the thingy for the power bank. So you get this little USB-C cable. All right, now let's turn it back around. And then I'm gonna plug it into a power bank. All right, let's see. Oh, wow. That is so much brighter than the other one. When I made the golden wheat bakery, I was saying that it doesn't look bright enough in my opinion. And I was thinking that maybe it is because of the batteries I used. I think that was the case because this is a lot brighter. So in the back, it has these touch buttons. They just tap and it turns on, and you tap again and it turns off. I'm just curious to see how bright it actually is. Let me adjust the camera real quick to see if I can give you like how I see it with my naked eye. This is how I see it. It's just that my camera settings, you know, are for a different lighting. Anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. Here we are getting close and personal with this little set. And let me show you real quick how the oven looks. It's so realistic and perfect, right? The whole kitchen looks so good with their lighting kit. So I highly suggest it that if you get one of these, please also get the roof kit that, you know, allows you to add that extra light in there. Let's open this oven door real quick and see. Oh wow, that's bright in there. That is super bright. Let me adjust my camera settings again so you guys can see inside there. See, it's a neon, kind of like reddish type of color. That looks so good. And of course, you saw me build this, so you know that all these actually open. This opens, these two over here open, the fridge opens, and the cupboard here opens. You can slide it like so and then close it back. I don't have any suggestions for this kit. It looks absolutely amazing. So the last thing I want to show you is that you should add this pole over here for, you know, better, safer structure. And also I talked more in detail about these two panels in the previous video, so go check that out first. But basically you can also purchase these two clear acrylic dust-proof doors so that whenever you put this, dust doesn't get in there. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this at any point in the video, but if you get multiple of these, they do come with some connectors, so you can actually put them together so that, you know, it looks like one piece instead of two separate pieces. And while I will not do that right now, I do have another set. So once I finished building that one, I'll show you guys how I connect all of them together and how they look. Well, this is it. My second Rolife kit that I ever built. This is the Super Creator Happy Meals Kitchen. And the more Rolife kits I build, the more I fall in love with them. They're so intricate and detailed, but at the same time, they're pretty easy to put together, and I like that a lot. A big shout out and thank you to Rolife for sending me this kit along with the two others. And if you're not into this particular one, they have so many available on their website, so just go check them out. I left a link in the description of the video. Please don't forget to use the code GBKuhleen15 at checkout to get 15% off your order. If you're gonna write a comment on this video, I want to ask you one last thing. Please also let me know how I can make this kitchen different. What ideas do you have and what materials I should use from either Mini Brands or MiniVerse to create some frozen moments maybe, or to just make a different scene? Because now that we've built this the way Rolife showed us, I am thinking about maybe creating a video in the future where we modified almost the entire kitchen, or, you know, use whatever's in there to create something unique and special. All right, enough blabbering. I don't want to waste your time. I do hope you're gonna have an amazing day or night, and as usual, you guys stay golden, keep on shining, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.